Now that we've pushed out the new gPanel labeling feature, if you are currently utilizing Google Drive labels, you will now be able to see those labels. We have a new labels column here. And when you access a person's drive through gPanel, you'll be able to see what label is applied to the files. Remember, labels can only be applied to files and not folders. So you can see here, these files have a few different folders here. Here's the visibility setting as well. But if I wanted to take a closer look at these labels, here's a confidential label applied to this file. I can go ahead and view that file. And I can also see the label that's been applied to it up here. This label happens to be the executive team labels. Because I have editor access, I can actually not only view it, but I can change the label as well. So just by clicking on view label there, I can see the label that's applied, and I can perhaps change it to instead of executive team, maybe this should go to the legal team. So I've got that label there. I can even apply any additional labels that I want. I do want to point out that there can be up to 5 labels on a file. So if I wanted to also give this I'll choose the draft stage here, and I'll make this an outline. No, how about first draft? I'll make that a first draft. And you'll see the labels here. And then when I go back to gPanel, here was that file. It's this second one here. I'm going to give it a quick refresh so you'll see what that looks like. All right, you can see one additional label got added, and when I hover over it, it shows you all of the labels there. So this inclusion of the drive labels in gPanel can be very helpful. And if you are trying to organize your Google Drive, categorize everything, applying labels to files is very helpful because when you apply a label to a file, not only can you find it easier, but you are able to daisy chain different automations off of those labels. Currently, you can do that in the Google Admin Console, and we're working to add that functionality here in gPanel as we move forward. That's where you can see the labels in their My Drive. And if we switch over to shared drives, let me show you that as well. Here is a shared drive that this person is a member of. So I'm going to click here on the shared drive, and I'll just go into one of these folders. And here are a bunch of other folders. Oh, here's some files on the folders. There are currently no labels here, but what I can do if I wanted to label this this demo doc here, I can go ahead and once again access the actions. I'm going to go ahead and view. And here's what that file looks like. So on this file, what I'd like to do is add a label to this file. And I can go ahead and do that by clicking File, Labels, as long as you have editor access or above. Hit Apply Label. And I'm going to, let's say, I'll make this a gPanel feature request. So I'm going to just fill this out here. Acme Corporation. We'll make this the UI UX team, and status will be in progress. So I've got my label, and you can see that it appeared right up here, gPanel feature request. So I'm going to head back over to gPanel and give it a quick refresh. We have this in-screen refresh right over here to the right instead of the browser refresh. So I'm going to hit that. And now let me scroll back down. You can see my label got created right there. So this label functionality, you can even use it here in shared drives. One additional area that I'd like to show where you can use your labels are in the drive search, which is outside of this particular user. We'll be searching the entire domain. So let's go ahead and access our main menu. Scroll down here to the drive section, and we're going to select drive search. And what's new here? Well, for those of you who haven't seen this drive search before, drive search is where you can enter your search criteria here. But what's really nice is not only can you search a single user, you can search multiple users by simply typing in their name. Or you can search a Google group, an organization unit, or your entire domain or secondary domains. If you have secondary domains, you could choose all of those. In this case, I'm going to search one of the groups that I have. Here it is, Mark's Cool Group. So I'm going to search all the members in that group. And the new feature here for the criteria we have is labels. So clicking on this drop-down menu gives you access to all of the labels that are created in your domain. And I'll search for any label that's marked confidential, and I can even add a secondary one or anything that's a draft. So draft or confidential labeled files. I'll go ahead and just, I could put in more search criteria, but that's all I'll do for this demo. You can see here it's populating and giving me a list of all users within that specific group that have labeled files, and you can see which labels they have here. Draft stage. Oh, this one has both. This one has actually 3 labels. As I hover over it, you'll be able to see all of the labels there. And you can see the labels don't have to only be applied to a Google document. They can be applied to a PDF, spreadsheets, video files, etc. They can be applied to any sorts of Google Drive files. All right. And if I wanted to in this search, I still have access to those actions that I showed you previously. All right. And one last place I'd like to show you where you can check out your labels would be over in the administration section. There is a new module called Label Manager. When I click on that, here's a list of all of the labels that are created in your domain. And for right now, labels can only be created in the Google Admin Console under the Google Admin Console's Label Manager. But once they are created, they will show up here. So if you are in gPanel already, no need to go back and forth. You're able to see all of the labels, see who created the labels. If the label has been modified, it'll show you the last time it was modified and who the modifying user was, and then also show you the status of the labels. So it will show you if the label has been published or if it's still in draft mode as well. So there's that list and a couple of filters up at the top here, just giving you a quick overview. And that is, oh, actually, I forgot, that is not it. One more thing about labels in your role manager, when you are creating a new role, there is also the addition of the label actions. So all you need to do is select a role if you have a custom role. And if you look up drive labels, some of the actions here, you can now apply these permissions to custom roles. So you can give somebody the ability to view and or remove. I think there's also, oh yeah, there's no add label just yet because we're working on that. But right now you can remove labels or you can view labels. So these would be the permissions in your role manager. So hopefully you really enjoy these features, these label features, and we are working to expand on them. And like I said, have different actions and automations be triggered by specific labels. So look out for that in the future. Currently, if you wanted to do that in your Google Admin Console, please give our support team a call. We can show you how to, say, trigger a vault retention or hold or something like that based off of a file's label, or set up a DLP role based on a label, etc.